Hey gun people, let's test some critical eye here a little bit. What's wrong with this picture? So at first glance somebody may say, they're different bullets. There's 3 different bullets or 2 different bullets. The 3 are the same and then one's different. They're all the same bullet. They're all the same caliber. So what's the problem? Now, most gun people are going to pick this up pretty easy. This is more for people developing a critical eye on looking at things real quick and kind of determining that something's not right. Obviously, you look at this picture and you're like, something's not right. Either the 3 bullets are longer than it's supposed to be, or the 3rd bullet is shorter. And actually, there's more wrong with this, but because of the way the viewing is, you can only see one problem. There's actually more than one problem. Now can you see another problem? So what happened is a buddy gave me this magazine. He wanted me to fix it. He says he keeps jamming his bullets, etc. So on his AK. So I looked at the magazine and it was kind of leaning too far forward, so the bullets weren't going up the feed ramp into the barrel like it should. So it was causing the bullet to hit a straight flat surface, and it was either bending the round or jamming the round further. Now there's a lot of people that would say these 2 bullets should not be shot. This bullet right here, it's not going to let me get it in and focus here. Come on. Alright, let's try it this way. I'll just try zooming in, and maybe the smart zoom will do that because it ain't letting me do it manually. Okay, so this bullet right here, casing is bent to the left. This bullet, the bullet is shoved farther down into the casing. So for nomenclature on people, the primer is the thing at the bottom that blows up. This is the casing and this is the bullet. So the bullet on this one has been shoved down. Can you shoot that? A lot of people will say no. I say I would probably shoot that one. Now I know there's some reloaders out there that's like, you're going to increase the pressure, and some people say no, it decreases the pressure because it's not seated right and you're going to have less pressure. Other people say no, you've shrunk the distance between the bullet and the powder, therefore it's going to create more pressure and you could blow up your barrel. I think that bullet would find fire. If I was in a firefight, I absolutely don't give a shit, and I absolutely would fire that bullet. The second bullet, if it'll go in the barrel, I would probably shoot it. Now, would I shoot it all the time as a matter of course and normal? No, but in any type of situation where I needed that bullet, I'm absolutely going to shoot them. So the 2 on the left obviously don't have any issues, not that I know of. Actually, the point, are those both ball or is one hollow point? Yeah, this one has a flatter tip, so this one almost looks like it's hit a wall a little bit and it just flattened the nose a little bit more. And you could do that with a hammer. But again, if you're reloading, and I'm not a reloader, so I'm not all into pressure stuff, but just looking and glancing at this, they always say before you load a bullet in a magazine, you should inspect it. And you inspect it for things just as this. Sometimes manufacture factory ammo, they'll screw up. They'll put the bullet in backwards, etc. Now, over years of loading and everything, you can almost immediately pick up when a bullet doesn't feel right or look right. I mean, you just handle it. You're shoving them in there. You've loaded and done so many thousands of rounds, you can just tell by feel that, hey, that bullet didn't feel right. It didn't load right. It kind of... So, inspecting your ammo is important. Well, I mean, obviously it is. Should you look at every round critically before you... I mean, I'm not into that, but I'm sure there's safety buys. Oh, this guy's giving bad advice. He's going to get somebody killed. And look, I'm thinking this bullet would find... I mean, most barrels are manufactured to higher pressures than what they're normally shooting in case there's something like this that happens so the barrel won't blow up. Could this cause a barrel to blow up? I don't think it would. I think you got a more problem with a barrel blowing up if you shoot a light round and the bullet stays in the barrel than you shoot another round behind it. I think that's probably the most times that I've seen where barrels tend to fail. But anyway, that's just a real quick look. So here's another quick look on another thing. Quick, what's wrong with this? What's wrong with this image right here? I'm going to move this up just a little bit here. We'll get a little downward view. What's wrong with this picture? I got 2 magazines loaded. Gun people are going to pick it out immediately. Other people, maybe not so quick. We'll go back to that. What's wrong with this picture over here? Everybody's always like, let me see what kind of guns you got, etc. All right, I pulled out a couple guns that I don't know if I've used in any videos. This is a Dan Wesson Valor, and that's a Dan Wesson Eco. So what's the difference between these two guns? Besides the look, etc., are they both safe? Are they both cocked? Or are they both forward? 1911 people are going to know what's wrong with them pretty quick. And I'll even move to a different angle over here so people won't say I'm cheating. You're going to be able to tell pretty quick what's the difference between the two guns. Is one safer than the other? Some people would say yes. Actually, one is on what's called a half-cock safety. The Eco is a half-cock. Somebody that doesn't know guns will look at this and say, hey, that gun's cocked and locked. It's not cocked and locked. It's called a half-cock, and it's a half-cock safety, and the gun will not go on safe on 1911s when the hammer is half-cocked. It has to be fully cocked in order to engage the safety. Again, 1911 people will know that. This gun is not on safe because the hammer is forward. Is this gun safer than the other one? If this gun is carried like this, there's probably not one in the chamber. If there's one in the chamber, you're going to either have to cock it manually, or you're going to have to slide the round, eject that round, put a new round on, and that'll slide and lock the hammer forward. So 1911 people will know the difference, but again, critical eye. I did that video on looking at a gun, telling if it's loaded, if it's on safe. You have to be familiar with different weapons. In my Revolutionary series, I'm going to get into, you have to be familiar with your enemy's weapons, so when you kill the enemy, if that's the only gun you have, you're going to be able to pick it up and use it, fix it, load it, and use it to save your life, instead of saying, oh shit, I don't know what that gun is, and I'm out of bullets, so now what do I do? And then on this one over here, most people probably got it. One magazine has a bullet backwards. And if you can't tell which one has a bullet backwards, then you got bigger issues than this video. Somebody be like, well, I didn't know. Am I stupid? Yeah, you're kind of stupid. When it comes to this magazine, I mean, we're all stupid about something. People want, well, it's not stupid. It's not educated, and we have to be PC and kiss out. Oh, you're stupid. Okay, yeah, whatever. It's a term that says you're not really knowledgeable of what it is. I'm sure somebody's going to print the damn thing on the definition of stupid versus ignorant. Anyway, all right, so those are the things. Inspect your ammo. Hopefully you got a couple of things. That was quick tips, and we'll end that there.